We're at part 6 already, and there's still lots and lots to look through, so let's get back there and get started. Now, a lot of people have pointed out that I haven't found a 1926 penny, but the 1926 spot is filled. But what it actually is the 1940 with the double line above the date. So this 1940 should be the one with the single line. That should be the one. Yep, there it is, single line above the date. So when I had my disaster with a tripod, it fell over, knocked the coins everywhere. I must have just pushed them back in the wrong place. So those two 1940 pennies should be there. I hope that clears all that up. That's it. That's better. Okay, let's grab some and carry on. You want a few more than that. There we go. Okay, we start with 1949, so that'll be George VI. 61, Elizabeth. There's a shiny 1966. There's a 1946. Is there a dash next to the E? No, nothing there. So that's not the 1946 dot penny. 1938. There's Edward. 1904, we need a 1904. That's one for the board. Another new one. Right, 1916. Has it got a recessed ear? No, definitely not. Very flat. So, not the recessed ear. There's another Edward. Come on, 1909 this time. 1907. Ooh, a bit grubby around that 7, isn't it? Not dirty enough for the dirty mug, though. 1939. Oh, we've got a shiny one there, 1966. 1901, that'll be Victoria. 1908. A little bit of damage there, isn't it? Otherwise, it probably would have been a bit of an upgrade, but probably not. Oh, there's a half penny. A 1943 halfpenny. King George VI. 63. What have we got here? 1929. There's Victoria. 1879. Have we got? Oh, we have got an 1879, but it's not very good. But I don't think this one's much better, is it? Probably not. There she is again. 73, is that? Yeah, it's 1873, but we have got one slightly better than that. 39. 1898, 1938, 1937, a couple more, 36, and on 1895. Normally I would say look for a 2mm gap between the trident and the P, but in this condition it doesn't really matter. So we've got the 1943 halfpenny, can go there with the others, quite a few of those now. There's the 1879, which is very slightly better than that one. Not a lot, but a little bit. And the 1904 gives us a bingo line from the first handful. Have you seen the thumbnail to this video? I sent a photograph of me to ChatGPT and said, make an image of me looking through a box of coins. And that's what came back. Sue says it looks more like Martin Roberts from Holmes Under the Hammer. Right, oh God, straighten them up. Right, here we go. 1897. Alright, so I'm going to say look for a dot, but I think it's... No, I think we'd see if there was one there, but there's not. It's a bit worn now, isn't it? Okay, 1966. There's George V, 1914. Alright, 62. Oh, that's a bit nasty, isn't it? 1962. Shall I put that in the dirty mug? Yeah, in it goes. 62. Another 1962. There's an 1887. Have we got an 87? We have. Might be better, I don't know. I don't think so. There's a dirty one. What's that? 1920. Yuck. Get in there straight away. Right, 1961. 1930. Well, no, we have upgraded the 1930, but got a lot of detail on there, isn't there? Quite a bit. 27. Again, that might be better. 1906. There's an 1876. Not the best condition. All of the 1876 pennies were made at the Ralph Heaton and Son Works in Birmingham, so they'll all have the H mint mark. Now, it's been reported that one has been found without the H mint mark, but I've seen an image of that and it's a very, very worn coin, and I think the H was there, it's just worn away. But we haven't got one for the board yet, so even in that condition, it's going down there. Right, 1936. 37. There's Edward. Come on, 1909, please. So it's a 1903, so we better check that 3 out. No, it's a closed 3. Curls around at the top and curls under at the bottom. Now, I haven't shown you a open 3 for some time, so let me get one. Okay, there's the one I just found at the bottom and the open 3 on top. I'll just freeze that image. There you can see, flat at the top of the 3 and doesn't curl under so much at the bottom. And that is known as the open 3 1903 penny. And I would say if you wanted to buy one in this condition, 50, 60 pounds, probably even more now. But this one is a common one, but might be just a little bit of an upgrade. Okay, we got another 1906, 1917. There's a 1918. Has it got a mint mark? No, nothing there. Getting greedy. I found 3 1918 H mint marks already in this batch. 21. There's a 1966, and we end with a 1962 in this handful. All right, the 1930, that wasn't an upgrade, but the 1927, this one is definitely better. Bit more detail on it, but in this light it looks a bit strange, doesn't it? What's that? No, I still think it's better, just a different coloration across there. Yeah, I'll leave it there. The 1908 is not better than the one we've got already. The 1887 is a tiny bit better than that one, so we'll replace that. And the 1876, terrible condition, but it does cover that damage I made. I'm going to drop the tripod so it can go there. I've got this image from Vlad, and it's a 1946 penny with a wavy line above the date. The exerg line isn't straight, it's warped. He says, do I have any information on it? Well, I don't really. I've looked through a few of my pennies and almost straight away I found this one, 1946, with that wavy line. So could it be because those lines are so fine, just a wear and tear of circulation makes it look like that? That's what I think it is, but does anybody have an uncirculated 1946 penny with that wavy line? But personally, I don't think it was minted like that. What do you think? Put it in the comments, please. Come here, you. That's it. Right. 64. Queen Elizabeth. There's a 1939. I think that's just a bit of damage. Yep, just a bit of damage. 1876 with the H mint mark. As I said earlier, they've all got the H mint mark. I think that might be slightly better, even in that condition. Right, 1910. Oh, I'll put that in the dirty rag. A little bit of corrosion on there. 37. There's Victoria. 1900. That's also got a bit of damage on the side by the look of it. Yeah. Right, there's Edward. 1906. I remember the quality of the 1906. I'll have a look. What we've got already. Oh, there's a 1918. Clearly see there's no mint mark on that one though. It's not too bad, is it? Oh dear. 1896. Someone's put some sandpaper on that side. 1892. That's not as good as the one on the board though. Got there. Oh, 1870. Yeah, 1870. Well, it couldn't really be in much worse condition than that, could it? But we haven't got an 1870, so I'll put that on the board for now. And 1961, 64, 29, and 1929 George V. There's Victoria. 1899. That's not a British one. It's going to be a Jersey, isn't it? Yeah, Bailiwick of Jersey, 1/12 of a shilling, 1957. And I think we've got a better 57 than that. 63. There's a 1936. Drop in those. There's a 61. It's a bit nasty, isn't it? In you go. 1945. No doubling on that 9. Right. 1935, and last one on this handful is a 1913. The 1918 without the mint mark is a little bit better than the one on the board. A little bit more detail, so I'll swap that one. The 1957 Jersey, I think there's a better one there, but I'll sort the best one out at the end of the hunt. This 1876 on the board was just slightly damaged on the obverse, wasn't it? This one is just slightly better, so I'll replace that. And the 1870 is a new one for the board. Now, I was asked a question, are these pennies bigger or smaller than 50p coins? Well, there's a 50p to compare it with, and as you can see, they are quite a bit bigger. 50p is slightly thicker. The actual size is 1 3/8 of an inch, or 30.8 millimeters.
Oi, no metric!
This 50p is 2017. I wonder what it can be. Oh, it's Peter Rabbit.
Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run.
Stop messing around. Let's get some more. There's still a lot to get through. Right. 1912 we start with. It does have an H mint mark, but we've got a better one than that on the board. There's Victoria, 1896. That's a very narrow date, so that'll be a common one. 1927. 1920. Small gap there. Alright, 66. Oh, there's a 1922. Let's check that trident. No, as you can see there, the middle prong is touching the bead. There would be a clear gap if it was the rare one. And also on the middle prong, look for a dot, but there's nothing there. So that's a common 1922 penny. 1967. 63. There's a 1907. Oh, it's just a bit of dirt down there, isn't it? 1967. Oh, 62. Well, that's a nice 62. That is definitely an upgrade. Look at that. 1949. That's not bad either. Looks like a bit of luster still around there, doesn't it? That's definitely an upgrade as well. Nice. 1860. Hey, we haven't got an 1860 yet, but terrible condition. Well, that's about the average condition you find in 1860 in these hunts. Done a lot of work, these coins. I can't see whether it's beads or teeth around the edge. But it is one for the board. It's a new one. 1929. Another 62, nowhere near as good. Is that dirty enough for the dirty mug? Yes, it is. And we end this handful with a 1963. Right, we've got an upgrade for the 1962. That's much better. Also, a much improved 1949. And although it's in terrible condition, 1860 is another one for the board. A few more. Okay then, there's George VI. 1938. We have a 1964, is that dirty enough? Oh, go in there. Right, what's this one? 1907. I thought that 7 looked a bit wonky, but I think it's just a bit of dirt there, isn't it? Yeah, that's all that is. And it's a bit battered. George V, 1929. 67. What have we got here? 1919. Don't think there's a mint mark, is there? Definitely not. Okay, 1908. 65. There's an 1898. Another 1919. Has that got a mint mark there? No. I've already found 3. 1919 H mint marks. 1930. There's a Victoria. 1861. I think that's a 1. Yeah, 1861. I think it's better than the one on the board because one down there, you can just about read the date and nothing else, but I can see a little bit more detail on that. So I'll swap that one. Aha, what we're going to have here, I'm saying Australia. Yep, Australia. 1936. Not sure whether we found a 36 Australia. I don't think I have. But that's very nice. 21. 66. There's an 1890. Don't think that's any better than the one on the board already. 45. Don't think there's any doubling on that 9, is there? Another Victoria. 1894. Again, I don't think that's an upgrade though. I think the one down there is better. 1906. Another 1919. Definitely no mint mark. Okay, we've got 19. Oh, what is that? Oh, I think that's just damage. I think we need to put it under the microscope. Yeah, I think that's just damage. I think it's just been hit by something. There's this line down here, a bit of a giveaway. That's what I think it is. Put in the comments if you think differently. It does look a bit strange though, doesn't it? Right, Victoria. 1863. Right, a few things to look for. A very narrow 3, but that's just a normal 3. Has the 8 been minted over a 6? Very hard to see. And is there a die number at the bottom there below the date? No, there isn't, is there? So that's just a common 1863. We haven't got an 1863 on the board though, just noticed. So that is another one. Right, 1948. Ooh, what's that? Something strange under Britannia's neck. I think that matches up with the wear on the other side, yeah. What is that? Don't know, something may have just thumped it. Don't know what that is either. I might keep that, a little bit of an anomaly there. I'll hang on to that one. Okay, 65, 66. We've got a 1945 again. Yet again, can't see any double in there on that 9, and a very horrible looking 1963. There's the 1861, more or less a blank disc, that one, apart from the date, so that is a slight upgrade. And while we're there, we've got the 1863. And another Australian penny, 1936 this time. And I'm going to hang on to these two and go with my other anomaly pennies. Shall I grab some more? Yeah. Right, let's begin this handful. Right, 1935, 63. There's a 1910, the 7th, 66, 1929, just a bit of corrosion around that date, isn't it? That's all that is. 1961, 1927, there's a 1937, there's an older one. 1882 with the H mint mark. The rare one is without the H mint mark, but I think the one on the board is slightly better than that. I think it is. Right, there's Edward. 1907. It's just a bit of muck around there, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, there's George. 1930. Damage there. What's that? Oh, what's that? That's interesting. There's a bit of damage there, but I don't think it's got anything to do with that. It looks like extra feathers on Britannia's headdress there. Let's compare that with the 1930 on the board. There we go, there's a comparison. I wonder what's caused that. Well, I'm definitely going to keep that one. Check your 1930s. Let me know if you've got anything like that. Yeah, just looking at that other bit again, where was it? I think that's just a bit of damage, isn't it? Don't think that's relevant to that. Oh, definitely keeping that one. There's a 1916. Flat ear. What we got here? 1938. 1966. There's a 28. I think that's just a bit of varnish around there. Something like that. Shining. It's not dirty enough for the dirty mug though. Victoria. 1870. What's that? It's an 1878. We haven't got an 1878. A little bit of damage on the last 8 though, but clearly see the date. So that's another one for the board. Another one for the date run. 1914. Okay, we've got a 63, 36, and Victoria 1898. The 1882 on the board is slightly better, but we've got an 1878 to go down there. And this one with that strange anomaly at the top of Britannia's helmet, I'm going to keep that one. Right, what have we got here then? 1921. There's a 1936. There's a 1900. 64. 1935. Nasty bit of corrosion around there, so that can go in the dirty mug. Right, ooh, very worn 1912. No mint mark on that one. There's a 1936, 1908, 62. There's Edward with a hole. Found quite a few Edward the 7th with holes in all different parts of his head. So someone's just stamped something on that or tried to drill it. 1907. Oh, there's a halfpenny. A 1932 halfpenny. Slightly warped just there. Not too bad though. Certainly very readable for 1932. 66. Oh, an Irish one. 1942. Let's check the chicks. Sometimes you get a missing chick on the 1942 pennies. Right in the middle. Half the chick is missing, but no, I can just see it there. Just see the legs of that chick. So that one's not missing. You can see the initials PM there. Artist Percy Metcalf. Lovely design. There's Edward again. Oh, it's a 1904. Oh, that's a dirty one, isn't it? It's filling up. 1965. 36. There's a 1945. Oh, I was going to say that's a nice upgrade. 1945. All right on the reverse, but I think it's just a bit of dusty stuff. That'd probably come away. It's quite a bit of detail for 1945. No doubling up on the 9 though. That's a shame. It's quite a bit better. There's George VI, 1946. Can we have a dash up there, please? 1946 dot penny? No. This 1945, even though it's got this bit here on the obverse, I'm going to put down there with the other one because they are notoriously hard to find in lovely condition. It's not lovely, but you know what I mean. It's better than the one on the board. We found the 1932 halfpenny, which can go with the others. And we got a 1942 Irish penny. That's going to do it for this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click that like button. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one. I like butter on my Weetabix. Is that weird?